Okay. Donc Ernst.
Thank you, dear participants. Now it's an interesting possibility to show how nature is ready to help us in order to bring a global change.
Go to in the direction of the microphone.
In order to bring a global change in the right direction, not only in the sense of a catastrophic view. Everybody knows what the tendencies at the moment are. They have even been used by Dan Brown in his famous book Inferno, and it's at the center of the story. But all these tendencies are scientific representations published in 2008 in The New Scientist. And you see on the right side, near the year 2000, in what sense the things are changing. You see, for example, the warming of the northern hemisphere. You see the CO2 content of the atmosphere. You see the extinction or the disappearance of forests, tropical forests. That's all curves in the same sense. Number of cars on the Earth, the black curve, and so on, and so on. And on the top right, you see the tendency of CO2. There is no inflection. We attained 400 ppm 2 years ago, and it's still absolutely a right line. It's absolutely linear, and this is really frightening. We could stop here and be disappointed and feared, but trees can help us very much in these perspectives. The trees are our representatives in the world, in the physical world of the plant beings, of the vegetal world. They are something like humans, which are not able to move, but able to live in a size of more than 100 meters and live for more than 5,000 years. What is their secret? It's a very interesting secret. I needed 50 years to understand, and it isn't taught in any room, in any classroom. The secret of the tree is not to make flowers immediately in the first year, but it's to wait for 30, 60 years before flowering. Before that, he's making, what does he make every year?
Roots.
Yes, it makes buds, small buds, which are embryos of seeds, or like seeds, but placed on an organic basis. This organic base is built up by the tree itself, and so on. So it's easy for the tree to make a colony. And that's the secret of tree, the giant of space, giant of time. And these trees are able to transform enormous quantities of water by evapotranspiration, creating clouds and provoking clouds to give rain at that very place. And that's a recent discovery, that not only the creation of clouds, but also the provocation of precipitation is also the function of the trees and of the forests. And that's interesting to understand. So we have a tree. It can be together with another one. It's already a small forest, and in fact, every tree or trees are organs of the forest. And the forest is building an organism. And when you understand that, you know how to make silviculture and forestry. And you understand why the earth has put forests around its belly, its equator. It's in order to protect the earth against the very strong impact of the sun. The most intensive energy coming from the sun happens at the equatorial level, and there is the place where the thickest forests are built. You see the black zone, that are the tropical forests. This is an organ of the earth, and our earth needs this organ to live, to make water cycles, to produce oxygen, to make oceanic cycles like the Gulf Stream. So we see, if we protect these forests, we will protect the Gulf Stream and our European climate also. So this is the first urgency. The second one is to rebuild forests everywhere. In previous times we had forests, for example in the Sahel zone. And the trees are not only able to make these water cycles, but also to bind the CO2 from the atmosphere. And for every kilo of wood, for example, you have needed 2 kilo, the tree needed 2 kilo, 1.8 kilo CO2. And that is the interesting fact. The use of wood in buildings or in agriculture is the solution for reducing the climate change, to make it into a positive change. We can transform our forests from plantations, we can make organic living forests again. We can bring trees into our agronomic surfaces to promote and to make the soil formation possible again. As the forest soils are very fertile, we can bring this fertility back into the agronomy with the help of the trees and organic matter from trees. And we can bring that into the soil with the very interesting contribution from France at the COP21 2015. It's the initiative of the 4 per 1,000. What does that mean? For every agronomist, every farmer, it is possible to add year by year just 4 per mil carbon matter into the soils. We know how this is possible. For example, being inspired by the traditional technique from Amazon Indians who discovered the system of terra preta. Biochar is another form. And also the ramial chipped wood. Every time when you associate matter from trees, ligneous material to crop compost, you can transform the soil formation and avoid fertilizers from chemistry, you can avoid pesticides, you can avoid tillage, and you can transform the agronomy into an organic agronomy for the whole world and compensate our actual climatic change problem. Even for construction, every kilo building made of wood or straw or bamboo is 2 kilos CO2 taken back from the atmosphere down on the earth. That are real solutions. And how can we change that? Tomorrow, for example, we must change and prepare the new generation. Thank you for being here, the young students. The new generation will be much more aware and will need a direct contact with nature. And the earlier and the deeper this contact will be working inside of us and deciding for our future engagement. For example, there is an interesting solution or an interesting method developed by Emmanuel Roland, a French inventor, who combined PET bottles in form of small tree houses to demonstrate how trees grow in school classes. And then the children can go outside to the farmers and plant their trees in a very special place. And in this sense, it is the possibility for every child since 2018 to have its trees planted at a very special place from where its food is coming from and where the soils will be regenerated and the climate brought into a better direction. These two books are already available, present these concepts. An English version is ready and other ones will be prepared in case of interest. Thank you for your attention.